good evening and welcome. Hello everyone, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you will be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 to either ask your question live or have it read for you, whatever is more comfortable for you. Please stay on the line, and the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative telephone town hall meeting will begin at 7 p.m. Again, hello and welcome everyone. This is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you will be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During this meeting, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to either ask your question live or have it read for you. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin at 7 p.m. Again, hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you will be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 to either ask your question live or have it read for you, whatever is more comfortable for you. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin at 7 p.m. Again, hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you will be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 to either ask your question live or have it read for you. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin at 7 p.m. Hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question this evening, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to either ask your question live or have it read for you. Just let your operator know your preference. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin in just a couple moments. Again, hello and welcome. This is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question this evening, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to either ask your question live or to have it read for you, whatever is more comfortable. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin in a few moments. Hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to either ask your question live or have it read for you. You can do that now or at any time throughout this forum. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin in a few moments. Thank you everyone for your patience as I continue this introduction. We'll get started here shortly. Again, hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During this meeting, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to either ask your question live or have it read for you. Just let your operator know your preference. Again, please stay on the line, and the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin shortly. Again, hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we'll begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you'll hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During the meeting, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to get in line with your question. You can either ask your question live tonight or have it read for you. Just let your operator know your preference. Please stay on the line, and Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting will begin at 7 p.m. or a moment after. Thank you so much for your patience as we are continuing our dial-out, and I just want to make sure we get everyone on the line before we officially get started. So again, hello, this is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In just a moment here, we will begin REC's live telephone town hall meeting. During this time, you will hear from John Hewa, REC's President and CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions of your cooperative's leadership. During this meeting, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. If you wish to ask a question tonight, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to either ask your question live or to have it read for you. And with that, I would like to welcome everyone to tonight's Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's telephone town hall meeting we have for you this evening. Again, another reminder to get in line with your question, comment, or concern this evening, press 0 on the keypad on your phone. And it is now my pleasure to get this call started off officially by turning this over to REC's President and CEO, John Hewa. Sir, please take it away.
Thank you, Allison. Good evening. I'm John Hewa, the President and CEO of Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. On behalf of your cooperative, our staff, and our board of directors, thank you for joining your fellow electric co-op members for tonight's telephone town hall meeting. We host these events to share updates with you about major initiatives that are underway, as well as to share details about our new programs or services. But more importantly, we host these telephone town hall meetings to give you the opportunity to ask questions directly to your co-op leadership. I hope that our discussion tonight finds both you and your families both safe and healthy. As your new CEO, I want you to know that I'm so enthusiastic about the future here at REC. Your cooperative is also well positioned to continue to navigate the changing times due to the health pandemic that continues to impact all of our lives. Now, regarding the pandemic, the REC workforce has swiftly adapted to working remotely, changing shifts or schedules, and following new safety requirements and social distancing. Many of our employees are working more independently, particularly our field employees. Let me say that we are so appreciative of REC's employees, their dedication, and their supportive families. We're working to maintain the reliability of our electric system, and that is very important. We continue to conduct a lot of system inspection, so please know that you may have an employee visit your property to inspect the meter or the lines that serve your home. REC employees will always be easily identifiable by their uniforms, their REC vehicles, and their official REC ID badge. But if there's ever a question, please call our offices to confirm. Your safety and your security is our utmost concern. We continue to emphasize the maintenance of the grid. We're managing the new growth that continues around the region, and we're responding to outages when they do occur. Know that as your cooperative, we're always here for you. Now, we hosted our last telephone town hall meeting back in June, and at that time, we asked for your participation in the annual meeting and the director elections. As you know, democracy is a pillar at REC, and it's also a pillar of the cooperative business model. And I'm very happy to report that this was a record year for democracy in action at your cooperative. We are thankful for the over 20,000 member owners who took the opportunity to get involved with the democratic process and engage. We offered several different avenues for participation in this year's election. That included direct mail of the proxy, email of the proxy with 2 different online election options, and then messages sent out to the membership through a multitude of communication channels. Our goal was to make you, the member owners, aware and to encourage your participation in the election. And we are very excited about this increased engagement. And we will continue to look for even more gains next year as we move forward. Now, before we get to tonight's questions, I also want to speak just for a moment about the future here at REC. Looking ahead, I want you to know that we will continue to see increased engagement opportunities at the cooperative. Your feedback is valued and it's critical, especially during challenging times and also times of new opportunities. We want REC, your co-op, to always be viewed as a listening and engaging organization and a cooperative that's focused on very wise solutions. The electric industry is seeing tremendous change in advanced technology. REC and other co-ops have been and remain at the forefront of this technological wave. We have many programs in place today that are made possible by advanced technologies, but you can expect us to do more in this area. We will focus on improving technology applications and finding new solutions to ensure REC continues to meet increased expectations. And finally, I want to touch just for a moment on the digital divide amongst REC's suburban and rural member owners. The availability of broadband is a topic in the national spotlight and also here within the Commonwealth. Many of you have asked, what can REC do to further broadband? Now, while broadband brings about great opportunity, it's also a very expensive undertaking, and REC must proceed very carefully. Last year, we began the construction of an 800-mile fiber project that ultimately will connect more than 100 sites across the cooperative region. Today, we continue to evaluate further opportunities in the fiber and broadband areas, and we are currently surveying the membership on this topic. So if you're contacted about your interest in broadband by REC, please take the time to respond. I want you to also know that REC intends to participate in the Federal Communication Commission, so that's the FCC, their upcoming Rural Digital Opportunity Fund auction this October, when the FCC will award funding support to expand broadband services to rural areas. Now, due to the FCC's regulations, REC is not permitted to further discuss its involvement in this FCC auction process for the next several months. But please do understand, we are very engaged in this issue, and your feedback has been very much appreciated. As we continue forward, expect from your cooperative a healthy core business of safe, reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity. Also, expect from us new layers of technology and increased focus on the environmental, social, and governance aspects of your cooperative. We will continue to focus on our services and the role that they fill in supporting the quality of life in the communities that we serve. With that, I look forward to hearing from you all this evening, and I'm ready to begin answering your questions. And thank you again for participating.
Thank you so much, John Hewa. Again, that is our President and CEO. Our first live question this evening is going to be Kevin from Front Royal, but I'd like to remind everyone you can press 0 on the keypad on your phone to get in line with your question, just like Kevin did. With that, Kevin, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Good evening. We are very gratified that brand new 3-phase lines were put up in the High Knob residential area 3 miles east of Front Royal to very much improve power reliability here, and we thank you for that. I'm curious what percentage of the Rappahannock budget is allocated towards infrastructure improvements, whether it be power lines and or substation upgrades.
Great question. And Kevin, really appreciate your thoughts and your comments around the upgrades in your region there. So first of all, your cooperative today is owned and maintained. Our team maintains over 17,000 miles of power lines. That includes both overhead and underground systems. Our budget, and really our capital budget, is what is attributed towards the expansion and the rehabilitation of that infrastructure. And it's very important that we maintain our financial health so that we can continue to invest in the grid, both new connections and addressing issues like reliability and upkeep and maintenance. Presently, our capital budget stands at around $70 million a year. And that's an increase from previous years. We have an increased focus this year and for the next couple of years on addressing some of our most challenging circuits that have caused us more reliability issues. So I want you and all the membership that are listening tonight to know that this is a very top priority for us. We're investing a lot of the co-op dollars in the infrastructure and expansion and upkeep of the system, and we're going to continue to make sure that we maintain a healthy position on our rates and our financials so that we can ensure the future growth and the future stability of the grid. So, Kevin, thank you again for your question.
Thank you so much, John Hewa. All right, we have Justin up live next in Doswell. Justin, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Hello, my name is Justin. I live in Doswell. I had questions about solar. I know I was on the call last year about this time, and somebody didn't get to my call, but somebody had called me back a couple days later, which was nice. But they said solar wasn't really an option for grid tie. I wonder if anything's changed since then.
Certainly. Justin, first of all, thank you for participating again, and we appreciate your question about regarding solar. So, first of all, over 1,000 co-op members are interconnected today to the REC system, and that number is growing every month. If you have interest for your home or business with respect to solar, we're very glad to facilitate that. It's an outstanding opportunity for us to leverage the co-op's assets and infrastructure to support a system that you might put at your home or business, but also if you have excess energy, to use the same grid and those same wires to deliver that electricity even to your neighbors. We currently have a net metering program that allows members to generate and offset their retail electric expense and also roll over that generation credit from month to month. So we would be very glad to work with you and any member on the call, helping you in terms of sizing and any advice that you might have. Now, for some homeowners, another option that we have is our cooperative sun share. Sometimes maybe the roof is older and the homeowner doesn't want to replace the roof, or maybe the orientation of the roof is not just right for solar. So we actually have a cooperative sun share program where our member owners can very conveniently buy 50 kilowatt hour blocks on your power bill of solar energy. And so without actually making the on-site investment, you can still have access to solar very quickly. So I hope that these programs are going to be very helpful for you, and really appreciate your question, and we're glad to help you with your interest in solar.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Justin, for your participation this evening. Up next, we have Matt in Jackson. Matt, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question. Again, Matt, do you maybe have us on mute? You're live on the line with John Hewa, our President and CEO. All right, looks like maybe he walked away from his line. I'll go ahead and mute his question and read it for him. Again, Matt in Jackson is asking, the reverse bid in November, why is our cooperative backing out of that?
So, Allison, thank you for reading that question, and Matt, thank you for putting that question forward. As I mentioned in the opening comments, I can affirm that REC does intend, we do intend at this point, to participate in the FCC's upcoming Rural Digital Opportunity Fund auction. So it's something that we are keenly aware of, very interested in, and we do plan to participate. And again, because of those FCC communication guidelines and restrictions, I'm not able to comment further on that, but hopefully in the months ahead we'll be able to talk with our membership more about this.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and thanks so much, Matt, for that question. Next up, we have Gloria in Shenandoah Farms. Gloria, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Hello, and thank you for hosting the town hall meeting. Excuse me. I have a question regarding Shenandoah Farms. I have brownouts, power outages, sometimes 3-4 times a week. And I was wondering if I have to do with the infrastructure or what I need to do besides reporting it constantly that my power is out.
Gloria, first, thank you for participating tonight, and thank you for your question. And we apologize for the inconvenience that those outages or disruptions are causing. And I'm going to ask our team also to follow up with you specifically tomorrow and to follow up with you on our long-range plans. But in your region, we do have projects within our long-range infrastructure plan to build additional loops within our grid that hopefully will address some of those issues. But what we're glad to do more rapidly than that is to actually take a look at the circuit feeding your home, make sure that the trees and everything are in the clear, and if there's any immediate remediation that we can do, we are very glad to do that. So Gloria, again, thank you for your call, and we do apologize for those disruptions.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks so much, Gloria. So glad to have you on the line tonight. Next up, we have Derek and then Brenda. Derek, right now in Ruther Glen, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi, thank you again for taking the call and for the town hall. I'm gonna have to do a caveat on the previous caller. We currently here in Ruther's Glen on Lady Smith Road we're having power outages as well. It only lasts like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but it always sends a surge back to the house because it cuts everything off, and then when it pops back on, everything just comes back on, which is fine. I got surge protectors on everything, but then when I've called, I'm told that there is no power outages, but clearly there is. So how can you pretty much answered it, that somebody would follow up with this area. But my other question, here on Lady Smith Road, they're going to go through drastic...
Derek, we're losing you for this second part of the question. Sorry, sir. We heard the first part nice and clear.
Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. So you pretty much answered it from the previous caller. Thank you on that, and I hope somebody does follow up with me on that. The second part, when they do the line maintenance, the trucks that they do use the line, when they come onto my property, they always rut the same area, which tears my driveway up when it rains. Is there a way we can inspect the lines a little differently? Because it's muddy and swampy as it is here on Lady Smith Road as it is.
Sure. Derek, thank you for both of those questions. And I'll actually go back to the first question just for a minute. It's actually very helpful that you have let us know, and I know you've called our contact center to let us know previously on those blinks or those short duration, let's call it short duration outages that you're seeing. That's those shorter duration outages that are happening more frequently is a good indication that there might be something like a tree limb hitting the line. We have devices that are called reclosers. It's kind of like a circuit breaker at your home, except it automatically resets. And so when there's a contact or a tree limb or something might touch the line, that can cause those very nuisance kinds of outages that don't last long. It's not a major conductor problem or a pole issue, but it is an issue, and we're very glad, and we will prioritize getting back out to look at the circuit feeding your home and check everything beyond that protective device to make sure that it's in the clear. We also, and you mentioned you have surge protectors, we do offer a surge arrest, for members that are interested in having something installed at their house. We're glad to help with that as well. It's more of a whole house surge protection. And then lastly, regarding the ruts, we absolutely can work with you. First of all, if we have any existing damage that we need to come out and remediate, we're glad to do that. We can work with our team or landscaping folks to come out and help fix something there that might be messed up. And also we can put a note on our mapping system to contact you and to seek, if possible, other ways to access our infrastructure. Now, I will say, though, that ultimately it's really critical that our team can get the trucks all the way to the conductors and to the poles in many cases. It actually not only makes the job more efficient, it actually makes it a lot safer. So we'll do everything we can do to try to make notes and make sure that we're aware that it's an ongoing problem, and hopefully be able to collaborate with you next time we need to get access to your property. But thank you again, Derek. We appreciate your call.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining our conversation, Derek, this evening. Next up, we have Brenda before Amos. Brenda in Couscous, you are live on the line right now. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, I live in Cuckoo, and it appears that we have a large number of senior citizens that live in Louisa County. Is there any plans in the future to help those senior citizens, including myself, with some sort of a stimulus to, we're on a fixed income and it's really hard to make ends meet sometimes. So any plans to help us?
Brenda, first of all, thank you for your question, and we appreciate your participation. And let me just say that our first objective is to keep rates affordable and low for all of our member consumers. While we do not have a specific rate for senior citizens, I could recommend that you might consider our budget billing program. It allows the co-op to look at your last 12 months of power bills and offer you a level billing plan so that it's much more predictable. That may be something that helps with respect to fixed income. Now, let me also just say that because you mentioned kind of the stimulus dollars from the families and the businesses throughout the nation and here in the Commonwealth and here in our REC region, there's a lot of hardship, particularly right now and over the last several months. REC is complying and working with the State Corporation Commission on providing billing arrangements for homes that are unable to pay their monthly bills. So we are not disconnecting power at the present time. We're working on a case-by-case basis with our members to make sure that during this very difficult time that we work out payment arrangements and other types of plans. So hopefully some of my comments here might be helpful to you. We're glad to have our member service team follow up with you directly, Brenda, if that would be helpful, and collaborate further on options that might be of benefit.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Brenda. So glad to have you on the line this evening. Up next, we have Amos and then Danita. Amos in Culpeper, you are live on the line right now. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, this is Amos. On your election, and so I have actually two-part questions. So one is, I just noticed on my bill for the last month that for distribution, 2/3 of my bill. So the usage cost was actually 1/3, and the distribution cost was 2/3.
I am so sorry, Amos. I am going to interrupt you, sir. Your line is breaking up horribly, but I think I see what we got. That you noticed on your bill that 2/3 goes to the cooperative, and then 1/3 is your bill. What can you say to that, sir?
So Amos, I appreciate your question, and I was having difficulty hearing, but I think I heard you mention the distribution charges, and there's a couple of different components on the power bill. There's the energy charge, which is typically the predominant charge on the bill, and then there's the delivery charge. There's also a facilities charge, which is fixed for residential at $14 a month. So we have your contact information as a result of your call and your participation this evening. We'd be glad to contact you tomorrow and follow up on a clear line where we can have a good conversation with you about the breakdown on the line itemization on your power bill, and hopefully answer any questions that you might have. Thanks again for your participation.
Thank you so much, John Hewa. Absolutely. Great idea. And thank you so much, Amos. Sorry about that phone quality there. Next up, we have Danita and then Melissa. Danita in Greene County, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Thank you. My question pretty much got answered, so I want to extend my gratitude and say thank you very much for helping with the bills and allowing us to be able to have extensions. However, I was just wondering if that would continue, because I do have relatives that are elderly, as well as some other elderly people that are trying to play catch up, and they're fearful that after things calm down that they will have to come up with everything all at one time, and then they'd be at risk of losing their power.
Danita, so first of all, thank you for your comment, and we're glad that you found our programs and our accommodations helpful. So the State Corporation Commission, the moratorium, if you will, on disconnects will expire in September. However, REC at this point does not intend to do any disconnection before November, and it's possible that date could get pushed back further as well. I know that during the special legislative session that's underway right now, the General Assembly is considering how to deal with this and how to help families across the Commonwealth. So in addition to not conducting the disconnects, I want to be clear for everyone that's listening, we're also waiving any late fees. We're not charging any interest. And so we're doing everything we can do to as you mentioned, to lighten the load. We're working one-on-one with our membership to work out payment arrangements, in some cases as much as a 12-month payment arrangement. And so our commitment to the membership going forward is that with those arrangements, as long as a member can keep up with those arrangements, we're going to work with them and make sure that they get back to a good, stable position. As a member-owned co-op, we want you to experience and know the cooperative difference. I also want to make sure that everyone understands that while we're not conducting disconnects, it still means that households are responsible eventually for paying those bills. So we're doing our very best to work through this very difficult, very challenging time. But ultimately, those households are going to need to pay those power bills as we work with them throughout the future months. Thanks so much for your question.
Excellent. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks so much, Danita. So glad to have you on the line. Right now in line, we have Melissa and then Joyce. Melissa in Doswell, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great.
Oh, good. Sorry, I started going into the question right after I asked. So I am currently on medical disability permanently, unfortunately, and I haven't missed any of my bills. I was selected per an email. I think it was the Sunshine program, maybe. I don't remember the name of it. And I was trying to pull it up while the conversation's been going on. But it was for like electric assistance for pre-selected members. And every time I tried to click on it, when it was offered, I think late spring for coming up for the summer months, it would send me to the website and tell me my login information that I used for the website and the app were incorrect. So it told me I didn't sign up within the time period. And my problem is I understand that the date changes. It's not a set date that we're billed on. And I, too, as these seniors that have expressed concern, are on a very limited and rigid kind of income. And my check does not hit until the 3rd of each month. So getting billed, like per se, August for 2 electric bills. And I'm on auto pay, and I can't change it. I tried to select out of it. So I'm trying to figure out basically what I can do and maybe what the issue I ran into with that program, or what I can do for assistance with my electricity bill, if I need to go through social services, or if you guys have something, or if I need to do both.
Sure. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing the details of the challenges that you experienced with the program that you were trying to sign up for. And I've made several notes here also. I'll do my very best to answer all of them. I believe the program you were referring to was our summer savings plan. And first of all, let me just say that I think that what would be best is if we ask one of our team members to contact you in the next couple of days here to follow up and really work with you on more detail on some of these questions. But we're running a pilot program right now. It's a commission-approved program that is allowing some REC members to test their ability to work with the co-op to reduce their power consumption during peak times, peak hours. And so what we're doing for those participants, we're providing a rebate on the power bill if they're able to reduce their consumption. We're glad to talk with you about that program and how that program works. Now, additionally, we have 17 different billing cycles, and each of those billing cycles has a 25-day grace period. So I think our member service specialists would be glad to talk with you about how to best optimize the timing of income versus when the power bills are due, and that's another conversation that we're really glad to work through with you. Again, maybe the budget billing might be the level budget billing might be a good option for you. Lastly, I would just advise you, Melissa, and really anyone on the call that is in need of direct assistance for paying their electric bills, I would encourage you to call 211. 211 is a statewide program. It's designed to put you in touch with agencies and organizations that have funding. Some of those may have funding that actually has flowed through from the CARES Act at this point in time, so there may be opportunities to help you. And if you'll call 211, they can work with you and help advise you and your household on how to best receive assistance. Again, we'll have one of our team members, also Melissa, follow up with you directly. Thanks again for your comments.
Thank you so much, John. Great information. Thanks so much, Melissa. All right, we are going to take a quick poll question now. So you'll vote on the keypad on your phone. So if you're on a smartphone, bring out that keypad, get your fingers ready. There are 3 possible responses to this poll question. All right, question goes like this. REC offers a program where you can set up text message alerts using a cell phone number to stay informed in the event of a power outage that is affecting your area. We want to know, are you currently enrolled in the outage text alerts? Please press 1 for yes, you are enrolled. Please press 2 for no, you are not currently enrolled. And then please press 3 if you are not interested in these text alerts at all. So again, I'll read through that question one more time. We're already getting so many responses. Thank you everyone for being so engaged in this call this evening. So again, REC offers a program where you can set up text message alerts using a cell phone number to stay informed in the event of a power outage that is affecting your area. We want to know, are you currently enrolled in this outage text alert program? Press 1 for yes, you are. Press 2 for no, you are not. And press 3 if you are not at all interested in text alerts. All right, back to your questions now. We'll go to Joseph and Don while everyone continues to weigh in on that poll question. Right now, Joseph, you are live on the line. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, thank you for your town hall. And I also would like to thank you for the provisions that was put in place for COVID and all the adjustments to help your customers. Also, thanks for the town hall. It's very nice to be able to have an opportunity to speak with you. And I have a 2-part question. One is about lines being buried. I'm right here on Route 30 near the State Fairground property, and we've lost our electricity maybe 4 or 5 times in the time that we've been in our home. And I was wondering, will the lines ever be buried on this end of the county? And also, do you have any kind of a program that supports whole home power through Rappahannock Electric that can help us secure the requirements for electricity in case there is an outage? And also, I would like to thank everyone at Rappahannock Electric for the app that we currently use. It's very powerful, it's very simplistic to use, and it's very convenient when trying to find out what's going on with the outages that have occurred and also anything related to the electricity that we have in our home.
So, Joseph, first of all, thank you so much for your comments and your compliments for the team of employees here at the cooperative. They do a fantastic job, and we're really glad to provide the services and the apps such as the Smart Hub that I believe you're referring to there. So thank you for those comments, and let's hope that all members will take the time to enroll in the Smart Hub app, and it's very convenient and can provide them a lot of information. So now, regarding the bearing of the lines on Route 30, our typical construction is overhead, except for some of the subdivision developments and some other areas around the territory. We're glad to look into our long-range plan, but I'm not aware at this point of any plans specifically to underground infrastructure in that area. That being said, I'm sure there are improvements that we can make to the overhead system to improve that reliability near your home. Now, a couple of things that you mentioned about generators. We really have two. First of all, we want to make sure we avoid as many outages as possible, and our goal is to keep your power reliable. So we will follow up with your comments with regard to reliability in your region. But for those that are interested in generators, there's really two different programs that the co-op can do to help you accomplish that safely and securely. First of all, we have a device. It's called a meter collar. It's a device that we can put on the meter base that makes it very convenient if you wanted to plug in a portable generator, such as the type that's on wheels. And so a lot of homes and households want that. They might use it for camping, or at a barn or something, and then they may also want to use it for partial power to back up their home. And so we have a device that we'll install permanently at the meter base that makes it really easy and safe to plug that in. And that's a lot better than the alternatives of running extension cords, especially in the dark or in a snow event or something like that. Now, the other thing that we have is a more permanent solution, and it's more of a whole home or whole house solution. We have a partnership with a really strong company known as Generac, and Generac is a national leader in standby generation systems of various types. And we have a kind of an affiliation program where Generac offers some preferential warranty and actually generator units for REC members that are referred through the cooperative, or just mentioned that they're an REC member. In addition, our team is also glad to facilitate that. So if depending on which route you were to go with, we're glad to roll our trucks, to get our service technicians out there, and to help facilitate any type of installation that you might be looking for. So Joseph, again, thank you so much for your comments. I know our team members appreciate that, and thank you for your participation this evening.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, great questions and great information there. Thanks so much, Joseph. All right, next up we have Beverly before Linda. Beverly in Amosville, you are live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
My name is Beverly Dickey, and I'm in Amosville, Virginia. I have three questions. First of all, the power lines go across my property. The helicopters have been going back and forth, back and forth. It looks like they're dropping things. I don't know. Could you tell me what's going on with the power line? Is it just a standard upgrade or repair? What's going on there? Secondly, and probably most important to me, is I get so many hits on my electricity. I've had 3 of them since last night. This morning was just as clear, no rain, no wind. I had 2. And they'll go off, and then they'll come back on. And I had complained about this probably 6 weeks ago and was told that they would look into it. But I've had quite a few hits since then. It's really annoying. I have to go around and reset all the clocks every time we get a hit. Let's see, the other thing was, what is the condition of our grid should there be an EMP problem?
So Beverly, first of all, thank you for your questions this evening, and let me try to address each one of those. first and foremost, with regard to the outages, as I've told a couple of other participants this evening, we're really glad to follow up, and we appreciate you informing us of the service challenges that you're experiencing. And we apologize for those disruptions. We know that's really aggravating, and we'll do our best to get out there and prioritize, especially if those outages are occurring frequently. Again, it could be where vegetation might have grown over towards a conductor on the power lines. But speaking of reliability and upkeep of the system, you mentioned the helicopter work, and we have done, in the past year, we have done some work with helicopter inspections. We've been using some helicopters to do mid-cycle inspections for our vegetation and tree trimming, which is normally on a multi-year cycle, but we've taken about 120 mile of power lines and reviewed those. And the reason we're doing that is because it's been a few years since those lines have been trimmed with tree trimming, and it's maybe a year or two before they're scheduled to be trimmed again. So we want to get in there close and inspect them. While the helicopter inspection is really efficient and in some cases, keeps us from having to get direct access to people's properties, it can cause some other issues. So I want to make sure that if you have any concerns about that, we're glad to put you in touch with our team that's over the vegetation management and that's over the inspection, and let them talk to you about what we're doing and when we might be out of that region. And then lastly, you asked a question with respect to EMP, and that's a big topic. It's a topic of national interest from a defense and security perspective. The electric grid does a great job of delivering electricity and is very resilient. There are, in terms of EMP types of issues, they could cause disruptions to the electrical system. Those are the types of things at REC that we plan for and that we consider. And we'd be glad to maybe have some additional discussion with you on that. But I know that that's a topic that some of our national agencies as well have published some reports in the last couple of years with respect to grid hardening and the grid's ability to withstand those types of events. So thank you again for your interest, and we look forward to making some improvements to the service to your home.
Excellent. Thank you so much, John. Thanks so much, Beverly. So glad to have you on the line this evening. Right now in line we have Linda and then Arthur. Linda, also in Culpeper, you are live on the line. Go ahead with your question.
Thank you for the town hall meeting. What I have a question about, I already have a whole house generator from Never Dark in Charlottesville. They are great people, but I see all these ads on the internet about we're contacting Culpeper residents for a free solar panels at no charge. And I'm just wondering if I think in my heart it's probably bogus because nothing's free. And I didn't know if you guys were aware of it.
So, Linda, first of all, glad to hear you have the whole house generator, and I hope that's offering peace of mind and additional reliability for you. And thank you also for participating in the discussion this evening. I can't comment specifically on what a supplier or a vendor might be doing out there with respect to offering solar. I will say that some of the providers might offer no upfront expense where they do it on a lease or a loan basis. So I wouldn't say that that's free, because those are the intention there is to pay those systems back. So if you have a particular flyer or anything that you've received and you'd like one of our experts here at the co-op to take a look at it, we're glad to take a look. And as your power provider, we want to make sure that we're your energy expert, and we help you in terms of the decisions you might make regarding energy efficiency or even the addition of solar to your home or business. So thanks again for your participation, and thanks for those questions.
Thank you so much, John. Great information. All right, next up we have Arthur before James. We have great questions, great participation this evening. Thank you all so much. Right now, Arthur in Goldvine, you're live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, good evening. My question is about seasonal rates. Between distribution costs and seasonal rates and other increases, my monthly bill is increased by about $100 per month, during the summer season, and it's not due to an increased usage. We have a high efficiency house, about as much as you can do in a house to make it efficient. So I still have advertisements stating bills should only increase by about $6 a month. So I'd like to know how we can eliminate or curtail this punitive practice.
Arthur, thank you for your question, and a couple of things that we're glad to do. First of all, we'd be glad to, and I understand that you've got a very efficient home. We'd be glad to also assist in any kind of energy audit or energy review, and actually do a billing analysis for you to kind of look back. And it sounds like you might have already done all that inspection on your bills, but we're glad to work directly with you to take a look at the fluctuations in monthly consumption. Now, you know, this past July, for instance, was a historically hot month, and so the longevity of those 90+ degree days and the cooling demands really did inflate power bills. But in addition to that, we do have a seasonal rate, and the reason we have that seasonal rate is because it matches up with the cooperative's procurement of energy, and it matches up with the energy market. So REC receives its power through a G&T, a generation and transmission cooperative that we're a part owner of, known as ODEC, or Old Dominion Electric Cooperative. And ODEC operates in a power market in this region, in multi-state. It's actually 13 states plus the District of Columbia, but it's called PJM. And in that region, there are peak times in the summer, actually the five peak hours in the summer, and a lot of expense, a lot of power cost is driven by those 5 peaks in the summertime months. And so the reason that we have those summertime rates and that summer and peak and on-peak is to send members an accurate or a more accurate a reflection of what the cost of power is. Now, one thing that might be beneficial it would be to consider the budget billing and consider a levelized bill. That could have some potential beneficial impact for you. We'd be glad to work that analysis with you and kind of do maybe take 2019 or 2018 as a sample year and show you what that might look like. So again, thank you for your interest and thank you for your question. Thank you for your comments.
Absolutely. All great. Thank you so much, Arthur. Thank you so much, John. So glad to have you on the line, Arthur. Next up, we have James before David. James in Caroline County, you're live on the line. Please go ahead with your question. James, are you there? You're live on the line with John Hewa. Okay, sounds like maybe he walked away from his phone. James in Caroline County says, at the end of the year, if any money was saved, will Rappahannock be sending checks out to its members? And again, that's from James.
Okay, well, fantastic. And Allison, thank you for reading James's question. And so, as a member-owned co-op, first of all, we're a not-for-profit member-owned cooperative, and our patronage retirement and our patronage capital and our capital credit program is a program that we really hold dear, and that we work to optimize that for the membership. You know, throughout the history of the co-op, REC has distributed or retired over $100 million of capital credits back into the communities and the membership that we've served. So we have a strong track record in this area. Last year, which would have been last November, we had a general retirement. The board of directors approved a general retirement of about $6.1 million because of the co-op's health and the margin performance. This year, because of the hardship that was brought on by the pandemic and the difficulty that families and businesses were facing, the REC board of directors unanimously voted to retire over $13 million of capital credits. They also took the step, and the co-op has already done this, has already sent those credits back out to the membership. But that was, instead of happening in November, which would be traditionally when it would occur towards the end of the year, we've already done it this year. We accelerated the time frame, and those bill credits and checks were distributed in the month of June. So hopefully members have already seen that. So while I can't speak for any other additional end-of-year transactions that might occur, I would just say that REC has already accelerated the retirement of its capital credits. Now, any margins that we do earn this year will, of course, be allocated to the membership, and be up for consideration in 2021. So hopefully that'll answer Arthur's question. And Arthur, if you're still listening, we're glad to follow up with you, or if you'd like to call our customer service or contact center, we're glad to discuss further with you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Great answers and great question. Thank you both. Next up, we have David before James. Now we have David in Spotsylvania. David, you're live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi. My question is simple. I just want to know, why does my light go like into a dim, like when the AC unit kicks in, or maybe the refrigerator? That's what I wanted to find out.
Sure. David, great question. And it's a question that comes up from time to time on the electric grid. It's called flicker, actually. When a motor, like a heat pump or an air conditioner or a compressor that might be in your refrigerator, starts, it requires a high starting current. And so that high starting current puts a strain on the service to your home, from the transformer, really the service wires to your home. There's a couple of things that we can look at to help with that. First of all, it's possible that the service lines to your home maybe the transformer might need to be closer to the home. That actually reduces that noticeable flicker. It's also sometimes an indication that there's an appliance at your home that might have a problem or might be getting ready to have a problem. So with, like, for instance, the heat pump or an air conditioner, the capacitors and the other controls that help those units start, sometimes if they begin to fail, you'll notice that flicker more. There's some cases a member might even notice it when their neighbor's air conditioner starts. So what we need to do is we need to send our engineering team out and to take a look at what's occurring there at your home. We can also install for a week or two what's called a recording voltmeter and actually track the voltage. We can actually take a close scientific look at the voltage into the home and the currents, and then come up with a game plan to help mitigate that problem for you. I know that those blinks and that dimming can be quite the nuisance. It happens really on all services for the most part. Most people don't even notice it. It's so quick and brief, but in some cases we run into a situation like you're experiencing, David, where it actually becomes quite noticeable. So thank you for letting us know, and we're glad to follow up.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Sean. Thanks so much, David. So glad to have you participate this evening. Next up, we have Jeff before Elaine. Jeff in Bumpus, you're live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
So I'm in information technology. My name is Jeff. I live in Bumpus in Louisa County. Just wondering, often there are scams that go out, click here, do this. Is REC looking at any of the energy-related scams that may be affecting its members? And are you prepared to, send out communications to the members about these scams?
Jeff, great question, and thank you for bringing that and raising that issue. And unfortunately, those types of things do occur. One of the benefits of being a cooperative and just having good relationships with the other utilities here in the Commonwealth and across the country, when those scams start to surface, sometimes it's in neighboring states, and we tend to see some patterns. And so the utility sector and the utility neighbors are really good about sharing information on that. We also get information sometimes from our Virginia, Maryland, Delaware Association that we're members of, or NRECA, which is the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association. That's the National Trade Association. So we frequently have information about those types of scams. They're extremely unfortunate. Sometimes they're telephone-based. Sometimes they are computer-based. And we often will send out a notification on social media or post something on the cooperative's website regarding this. Now, if a member ever questions whether or not they're having a valid conversation with REC, really what I would advise them to do is to call us directly and to have a conversation with us and to make sure if you ever feel uncertain about the party on the other end of the phone, if they're asking a member to make some type of unusual payment transaction, that's the point where I think the best thing would be to call REC directly. That number is 1-800-552-3904. So we can be contacted at 1-800-552-3904 to verify whether or not a request for payment or something is in fact legitimate. Members could also email us at office@myrec.coop. That's an email of office@myrec.coop. And Jeff, thanks for bringing that up, because we don't want to see anybody fall victim to those types of scams, and they can be very tricky to navigate sometimes. So thanks for raising that issue tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining our conversation, Jeff. Next up, we are going to go to Elaine before Doris. Elaine, right now in Standardsville, you're live on the line. Please go ahead with your question.
Thank you kindly. I appreciate this opportunity to speak to you during this meeting, and I wanted to compliment you on the speed with which the REC restores power in my area on the Madison-Greene County line, because we have a lot of trees, so I know it's a constant challenge to maintain power. And apparently one of the power outages was caused by a broken pole on my property, and apparently since it was an emergency situation, the debris from the broken pole, the original pole, was left on the property, and I just wanted to see if we could follow up and have that removed. And there was also an owner installed underground conduit that was attached to the old pole, and I want to make sure that that could be restored and reattached at a later time to the new pole. So I had requested it online and had not received any information back. So I wanted to bring it to your attention, and also to compliment you on your record of restoring power to this relatively isolated area.
Well, Elaine, first of all, thank you. I can tell you that we all appreciate your comments and your compliments. Our field crews, our line crews that are out there work so hard in all conditions, as you're aware, to get power restored. And our team members back here at the office and the control center and staffing the phones are, the whole team is just so highly responsive, and that's a character of REC that we want to make sure we always preserve and are always